here are some general tips for really any map that you play on. Hallway is going to be the example. I did some tips on this already. But anyways, I think the first thing is let's talk about bauble servers, or anytime you have somebody who's going to be sitting way up high shooting down and you're in an open area like this. The first tip I can give is take a block, make it any length that you want, and then go 2 blocks behind it, make it about the same length, just stack here, here, and here. And I'll get one more stack. And boom. This structure right here, if I just crouch underneath here, provides me the protection that I need. Up here, I've got a nice barrier blocking bullets, And of course, it doesn't have to be this long. I'd like to give you an example. Do that, and technically you want to be standing behind, so I actually messed up, so I'll just go back a little bit more. So here. Once you get to this part right here, you can kind of use this as a wall, wait for them to reload or something. You know, build that third layer and then quickly rush out and put your blocks here and then quickly duck underneath. There's my tiny little gap right there. I'm just going to shoot in between. That's a very hard shot to make. If the bullets are getting too heavy, you can always go back a bit, especially if these blocks are breaking. Next tip, I already went over this, but I'll go over it anyway. So, building up is easier than it is building down, but once you get your nice little 3x1 hole, or 1x3 hole, you just hold down right click and you just look at this top block right here in the stack of 3. Look at the top block, you break it, and then you break the one above you. And then literally all you have to do is just, every time you break it, just tap W while holding right click. So I'm just tap W. So that's the easy part. Now with going down, and there's different ways of going down, but I will just fly to the top here. So once I get up there. So the fastest way to go down is not necessarily the best way, especially if you want to climb back up. But I'll show you it anyways. So when going back up, let's say, so you've got your nice 3x3 hole, or better yet, let's see. Yeah, see, it's only going to mine 2 blocks down. Another thing to note too, as part of the tips, dig 2 blocks down and just skim the top block, and you can continue a trench that's only 2 deep. Just a fun fact. But anyways, you know, it will just work in the trench. I'm going to break this, so we're a block down here. Now, the first way is you can just hold right click. Sorry, I just wanted to move myself down a bit, but you hold right click here, and then you double click the top block. So you go like this, ba-bam, this, ba-bam. And that's not the fast way, so I'm sorry I led you off there, but the fast way is you dig a thing of 3, dig 2 down, dig a thing of 3, 2 down, like this. Or so on. It gets, even to me, it's confusing having to mine out this way, because you just fall in. So tap W, tap W, tap W, and I'm hitting the middle block in the stack of 3, and then I'm looking down and going down by 2. But the problem is whenever you do this, it means that whenever you have to get back up, it means you're going to have to jump the whole way. So as to the other way that I was showing, that I wasn't supposed to show first, but I ended up showing first anyways, this way it makes it very easy to walk up. And there's also 2 ways of digging out like this. So you look at your stack of 3 blocks, you look at the bottommost one, you break it, and then you double click to break that one. So it looks like this. tap W, double click, tap W. But there's a better way to do this. So if I start here and I hit the middlemost block so I have a path of 2 to stand on, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand on this block right here, and I'm going to hit the bottom one, and then I'm going to double click on the block I'm standing on and slide up. Like this, so then I don't have to move too much. So then you just right click and hold, double click here. And the reason why this is more effective than the other method is because your mouse is not moving too terribly much. It's faster to dig up than it is to dig down, if you want to be able to use your stairs as a way of getting back up and down in a hurry. But yeah, so you can either do it this way, you can either right click the bottom block and then double tap the top block to go down. It's just a lot of mouse movement. You can click the bottom block and then double tap that one out of the way, like so, which I feel is a bit faster. Or you can just flat out right click this one. Well, I didn't need to do that, but anyways, you right click this one. Hang on. Like I said, even I get confused whenever I'm digging like this, digging downwards. Digging downwards just in general is confusing. Well, anyways, you get the gist. But just in general, if I'm going to dig up, so I'll just start here. If I'm going to dig up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the topmost block, and then remove that one, go up. If I want to go down, I'm going to make a 2x2 way to stand on. Then I'm going to look at the bottommost block and double click the one I'm standing on and start going down. Really quick, really fast. Get out of the tunnels for just a second. And then, of course, obviously if you're being shot at, just remember that you can place down blocks and build yourself a wall if need be. Oh yeah, that's right, it doesn't build that high up. Just go down here. And then, of course, yeah, if you're getting shot at, you're just going to, do something like that. They're shooting from the top. Quickly just make a barrier of any size, go 2 back, place it in, place it in, place it in. Get some more blocks from here. I don't even know what that was just me being dumb, I guess. Get some more here. This is a bad example, obviously. I used to be faster at doing this, but basically it's just going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and then you just, and there you go. That's basically good tips that really apply to any map. Another tip, I guess, I'll just throw in a few extras now. Another good tip that I like to use, or like to do, which I also went over in the last one, but if you're going to make a hole in the ground, try to match the block cover, or the block color I should say. So if I make a hole here, cover your entrance block to be roughly the same color, so that way it blends in whenever people look on their big map. They won't be able to see it easily. Just know that whenever you blend it in, really try to check your surroundings so that way you can find it, because I have played Capture the Flag where I've made it all the way across to the enemy's base and I'm looking down on them, and this is an example of playing hallway. I'm looking down on them, and then I know that I dug all the way to the bottom on one of these walls over here, but I go to look for my hole, and you see how like A8 and A1 are black areas, and then it just goes down the 1 and 8 column. I built in the black area, and I could not find my hole, so I had to dig another one. So really be careful not to forget where you dig your holes if you cover them, which is highly recommended, because the last thing you want is for the other team to go looking for your hole. And let's say they do find your hole, and here they are. Better yet, let's go back to this example way down here. Let's say they do find your hole that you dug at the bottom, and so here they are walking up it. One of the ways you can stall people is you can make this theoretically a one-way path. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. You dig like this. Never mind. Don't do the fast way. The fast way doesn't really... It's not really all that great, but this is what I would do. So, whenever I'm building these things, I like to make them, as I said, one way. So, this is just a small example, but you do something like this to temporarily delay them so they can't get across. You make it just high enough to where you don't take damage, so you can just run across, jump down. I would use this for, like, my base. I wouldn't use it for, once I tunnel over to their base. It's just more for me so they can't get to the spawn area as easily, but it would be way higher. So they would have to tunnel through all this or try to build up, so it kind of is like a roadblock a little bit. So, another really good thing to do. And also, another good habit too, and let's suppose that this is the enemy base, since I'm running out of time here. Whenever I start building down or building up, it's really important not to build in a straight line. Let me correct myself here. Okay, here we go. Whenever you build up or down, don't build in a straight line like this. Start trying to get creative. Start making it very sporadic as you go up. Just take really strange and odd paths, because you don't want them being able to have a clear line of fire whenever they come trying to find you. So, yeah, that's a good tip. As you can see, I've got this nice weird path. If this was the surface right here, and I was running down, and then the enemy's behind me, he's got the gun, he's trying to shoot me, boom, I already just rounded the corner here. He's getting ready to shoot me, boom, I just rounded another corner, getting ready to shoot, boom. So, anyways, those are a few helpful, yeah. Oh yeah. So those are a few good tips for playing really any, game mode. And yeah, I hope that helps. And also, before I get yelled at, whenever I said good for any game mode, exclude, what is it? Oh yeah, just exclude Counter-Strike style maps or arena mode maps. Yeah, hope that helped. Bye.